here's what I wanted to start out with. So, we've already seen this. You already know about this. It happened yesterday. But I wanted to use it as my question for today. So, Trump serves McDonald's and Burger King to the visiting Clemson football team. Clemson won the VCS Bowl, and as a result, they were honored at the White House. And because there's the government shutdown, Trump was on his own to figure out what to do, and he decided to give them fast food. I wonder, did they get a, hey, I'm one of the best college athletes in the world, and all I got was this lousy Big Mac t-shirts? Was that included? Was that included? And I tweeted this. If somebody would have told me, hey, someday going to the White House to be honored involves meeting a reality television star and getting fast food, that wouldn't surprise me. Especially if somebody would have told me in the year 2004. Why? Because George W. Bush was president. I knew that there was no floor by then. Nothing would have... Some people were like, I'm shocked by this. You shouldn't be shocked by it. You shouldn't be shocked by it. Oh, and by the way, some of the people that are like, don't criticize him for that. It sounds pretentious. No, it freaking doesn't. The president is the most powerful person in the world, arguably. Okay? They can splurge. When they're honoring somebody at the White House, they can splurge on some catering. I'm sorry. Trump could have opened up his pocketbook and splurged on a little bit of catering. He did the fast food. Why? Because it saved him a buck. I'm sorry. That's not an unreasonable ask of the most powerful person in the world. To have decent catering for people that are being honored in your White House. In the White House. It's not unreasonable. Oh, but Ron, they're college kids. That's what they like. Really? Did you not appreciate food until you were in your 30s? Did you go to your high school prom? If you did they serve you Big Macs? Because, oh, you're in high school. You must not appreciate anything else. I went to my high school prom. We had a dinner there that had a buffet. That was of reasonable quality. It was good. Should we have not had that? Should they have had Big Macs for us because we were under 30? You think college kids don't appreciate good food? You think they didn't go to the White House? Anyway, you get my point. But the reason I bring this up is not to necessarily go through the article. We all know what happened. Trump served the Clemson team Big Macs, Burger King, Wendy's, Domino's Pizza, and French fries. My question is, and the reason I brought this up, if you were being honored at the White House, would you go? You know, whether you're an athlete or whatever else. And, you know, for the sake of this question, you have the same mindset you currently have. You can't be like, well, if I was just a 20-year-old athlete, I don't know how I would feel. No. You have your same mindset. You feel the exact same way you do as a person. You're just, for whatever reason, being honored at the White House. What, maybe you were on a team. We'll go with that. You're on a team. You won a championship. Would you go? Because keep in mind, some people made the decision not to go. There have been invitations that have been taken away in recent years. I think the article points that out. Yeah. So here we go. I'll read this part real quick. Some championship athletes and teams have opted to forego the traditional White House visits since Trump took office. The president rescinded invitations to the NBA's Golden State Warriors and the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles. I remember when that happened. I'm sure you do too. In recent years, after players on each team criticized Trump or indicated they did not plan to attend. So, my question for the day, thought it'd be a fun one. If you were in one of those situations, would you attend? Or would you not attend? Would you protest, say I'm not attending? Or would you attend? And if you would, what's your reason for attending? Maybe you have an interesting reason. Maybe you have a particular reason why you would attend. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? That looked weird. That was why you would attend. Would you attend? Would you? Would you? It looks stupid. It's almost like it's like Richard Nixon meets Bernie Sanders a little bit, this thing, right? Like it's kind of a combination of both. I don't know. I'm still waking up. So let me see what you guys are saying. Then I'm going to give my answer. And I have a quirky answer. Oh, and by the way, for the sake of this question, you are answering it in the now. So it's not like, well, who's the president? No, Trump is the president. You'd be visiting Trump. So, you know, no hypotheticals about other presidents. It happens to you now. You are being honored at the White House. Would you or wouldn't you go? K-Line says, I would probably go just so I can smack down the establishment with facts. Then I would get kicked out. There you go. That's a cool answer. So some people would go so they could confront leadership. Pat Hacker asks, are they serving snacks? We can only imagine. Tucker says, I'd go just to have the chance to tell. Wow. Tucker, you and I are parallel thinkers here. I'd go just to have the chance to tell Trump, this is what Tucker's saying, to support Medicare for all. Because that would boost his approval rating, which his ego would love that. Chris, go and tell Trump to ditch Pence in 2020 and get Rand Paul on board instead. Emma says they would do what the K-Line report did. They would go. If MSNBC will attack you, if you don't go, Fox will have a go at you. It's a lose-lose. So if you go, MSNBC will attack you. If you don't go, Fox will have a go at you. It's a lose-lose. All right, I can see that. Matthew, I'd go with a Bernie shirt on. So some of you guys are saying you'd go. That's interesting. Creative Experiments pointing out that Trump may get rid of Pence. I've heard grumblings about that. Nothing substantial as of yet. So here's my answer. I also would go, and Tucker, you and I have some parallel thoughts here. I would go to try to talk to him about Medicare for all. Would I get a chance to even talk to him? Probably not. I mean, I know that you're like a team alone with the president, but I'd imagine he always has people surrounding him. I doubt you'd really get to sit down and talk with him. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never been honored at the White House before. I have no idea how that goes. And I'm assuming it is something that will never happen to me. And I'm quite okay with that. But I would go in this situation, and what I would try to do is I would try to convince Trump on Medicare for all. The way I would go about it, I'd be like, Trump, man, I would kind of like use a little bit of reverse psychology. First of all, I would find out the CEO's name of like Blue Cross and Blue Shield or something like that. Or just some other health insurance industry, like big company, like Cigna, whatever. And I'd be like, man, I was talking to insert CEO's name here. And he was saying how he's really glad you're never going to do Medicare for all because that would really screw him over. And right now, he's richer than you are. That's what he's saying. I don't know if it's true or not. He's a family friend. And he's saying that he's so much richer than you. And by the way, I'm using the word he because pretty much all the health insurance industry CEOs are male. That we did a story on that before. That's a fact. They're almost all male. So I'm not assuming. But anyway, so I'd be like, I'm talking to him. You know, he's saying he's richer than you. He's saying he's richer than me. Yeah, Trump, he's saying he's richer than you, buddy. I don't know what that's all about, but he's saying he's richer than you. And he's saying he's glad you're never going to do Medicare for all because that would really screw him over. You might be richer than him if you do that. He'll still be rich, but you might be richer than him. Then all of a sudden, Trump's like, wait a second. Now it becomes a measuring contest, which is the only thing Trump cares about or understands. If you make it about him having more power over someone else, he'll listen. And that's all. You can't be like, Medicare for all would help people. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He can't even understand that. This is a guy who has been rich his entire life through no work of his own. He can't relate to somebody not being able to afford their medicine. He can't relate to that. But if you make it about a power measuring contest between him and some of his rich friends, ooh, all of a sudden, so that would be how I'd play it. I'd make it play like, hey, the health insurance CEOs and Big Pharma are talking shit, Trump. They're talking smack on you. And they're saying you're not going to do Medicare for all because you don't want to make them mad and they're richer than you. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm the richest. I'm doing it. Would it work? Probably not. But hell, man, if I had the opportunity to try, I'd be foolish not to. What's the worst that can happen? You get kicked out. That's the worst that could happen. Would you want to stick around anyway? If I showed up to the White House and Donald Trump is standing there with a bunch of fast food that I personally don't eat, not shaming anyone that does, it's just not for me. We've talked about this before. If you give up fast food for a while, you won't be able to eat it. In my experience, I can't speak for everyone, but in my experience, I gave up fast food for a while because I was a road comic. I was living on the road, And it's really easy to just be like, I need something quick and easy. I'm going to go to Wendy's, McDonald's, whatever. And when I started trying to lose weight, and, you know, I've talked about that before on the show. I used to be a lot heavier. I could show you guys pictures of me. You wouldn't recognize me. You know, when I really wanted to make a lifestyle change for myself, for my health, that was one of the things that was part of it. I was like, you know, I know that I live on the road, but I can't eat fast food anymore. And I really made a conscious effort. And I was able to pull it off. But a couple years later, and this was back in, this would have been like 2014 at this point, I had not eaten fast food for about 2 years. And we were in a rush. This was me and some friends. We were going to a concert. We were in a rush. So we had to stop at Wendy's. And I got sick. I couldn't eat it. Like it tasted like I was just shoveling spoonfuls of salt into my mouth. That's what it tasted like to me, excuse me. It tasted like I was just shoveling salt in my mouth. It was gross. So I kind of realized, I was like, I just can't do fast food anymore. It's not a matter of like, oh, I don't, you know, oh, I don't want it. It's like, I can't do it anymore. It literally grosses me out. So anyway, my point is, if I was in a situation where I was visiting with Donald Trump, and I see Donald Trump, and I see a bunch of fast food that I can't eat, I could eat the pizza. I know there was pizza there. I would eat that. I would want to bounce after like 10 minutes anyway. So I would want to try to turn Trump onto Medicare for all, and then I would bounce. Would it work? Probably not. I'm sure it wouldn't. Because he has too many other people that have his ear that don't want him to do that. And how does he feel about it himself? I don't think he has any actual... I think he just loves power. But anyway, I would try to do that. And then I'd be happy with leaving anyway. So the worst that could happen, he'd kick me out, and that'd be fine if he did. I already accomplished what I came to do, which was to try to get him to do Medicare for all by making him jealous of health insurance moguls. I think that's the only approach. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your